All right, what's going on, guys? It is 12 a.m. Happy Tuesday. I figured I'd just make this video real quick since I am just doing a random update. Let's get some grays here. Work my glasses still, so I'm waiting for my new pair to come in. I just want to say that a couple things, okay? I'm still working on the spiritual stuff on the side, so like on my spare time, I'm looking at spiritual stuff. Let me just bring this up really quick. Got my blanket on too. So let me see. All right, so I have these are just some recent tabs I've opened up. So I'll probably do this before I go to sleep tonight. But here's what I got right now. I have all of these. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's around like 5 days, 5 to maybe like 10 days of just watching this, and then I should have like this over with, and then basically I'm going through one more run through via 1 second here. I'm going through one more run through with these standalone pages, and I'm just like going through once and for all, because basically I got the information and I know what I'm looking at now, right? And now I just need to basically confirm what I believe, and then it's just more parsing after that. Okay, so what am I saying here? Okay, apparently there are like all the stuff in the sky, in the stars, it's all connected to us, and what it's really describing is what's up there is what's happening inside your body, and the sun is supposed to be Jesus, the actual sun, like literally the sun, and I mean, all the stuff is still real. It's like it's still real, the spirituality and stuff like that. But what it is all sun worship, and um, those things are portals, right? They're basically like little holes inside the sky. Like that's what the sun is. The sun is a giant hole, and so are all the other planets and stuff like that. These are all ways to get back to connect to source, right? In order to get through the source, we got to go through the sun. In order to go through all of the um I guess in order to go back to the sky, or something, or whatever, connect to God, we have to basically just be good people if you have a soul, right? If you just be a good person, um, try to give your gifts. I guess like we're all born here with a contract. I guess I'm doing mines by trying to help people, right? And one of those things is I don't like helping people for free. I really don't. And I'll talk about why in a second. And what else? Um, Okay. Also, apparently, demons are very real, and it's all the form of possession, basically, right? So, what the stuff I was talking about earlier was real. Okay, so I got confirmation on that. Apparently, they live like under the ground or something like this, or whatever. The bunch of demons live under there. Apparently, it's like a real thing. These are the materialistic people, and apparently, there's like a place like this, except underground. Except it's just like what they do is they just do devil stuff, like sex and money and stupid stuff like that or whatever, which is stupid, but I mean, I guess, right? And the reason why, what happens is these demons, they end up possessing people, and then basically they hate good people, basically. So they hate that you have a soul, they hate that you're a good person, so they try to corrupt you. Right. So all this stuff I was talking about was real. And I'm like, holy crap. Okay, this is real. So I was like, this whole narcissism, this whole abuse thing has always been real. And you can only be tricked if you don't really believe in yourself, and if you're not believing that you're an extension of God. Right. We all are. And it makes me think now when the planets are in alignment or in unison. I think there's maybe like one day out the year where that is, that might give you a chance to kind of teleport back up to do whatever, whatever that is. Like, when the planets are like aligned and they're in perfect alignment, that might be your chance to connect, because then you got to go through all the energies and portals in order to get to the source, right? In order to get the source, which is real. It's just funny, man, because I just went down this whole like rabbit hole just to figure out like, oh yeah, I was right. What a pain in the butt. But I have more details now, though, to be clear. So there's that. What else? Sun is fake. I'm sorry, it's energy. So it's not like a star. All those stars are just, they're all cracks in like the ceiling, basically, whatever the ceiling is up there. How? I don't know. I don't know. Why does everybody say it's a globe? Apparently they decided to brainwash everybody 2,000 years ago or something. And they said that, you know, this is what's going on. Whoever the demons were, they decided to basically make some deal with one of these guys up here. And while they got rich, they started to do all the wicked stuff. And they basically put everybody to sleep spiritually. So they wiped away the knowledge and all the other stuff, and they basically made you dumb. They made you a slave. So that's pretty much it, right? That's pretty much what's going on. So, trying to figure it out. I do know who it is so far. Have an idea who did it, and just is what it is. Apparently there was this place called Tartaria that was here at one point. They had unlimited food, energy, stuff like that, so you didn't really have to pay for anything. You're just living and then sharing your gifts, which is how it's supposed to be anyway, right? It was, whatever. And that's it, but they basically hijacked everything. They made it what it is right now, and they're trying to make it worse, basically, right? Because they're coming up from underground, like these demons, right? Literally, right? They're little demons coming up from underground, and apparently there's like lower levels or whatever to it, and the lower you're going is like hell. I don't know. Okay, I'm still figuring it out, but all the stuff I've been saying has been true so far. So now I just got to figure out what's next, right? So the people who do have this energy that seem to follow you around and whatever, they are demons. They're literally demons. It's been confirmed, okay? Or they're possessed by one, or whatever. I don't know. But I know that when you die, you go down there too, right? Until it's time to come back here. Because basically you technically don't die. Technically you don't die. You just come back or whatever. Like basically you had to agree to come here, or you were sent here to help people or something. So basically it is like that. It's like it's a video game, right? It's like so annoying figuring out what the heck is really going on. I really don't know, but I was right about the energy and stuff being spawned in and stuff like this. I'm not in that mode right now, so I can't really access that data because I'm trying to just get some more clients and stuff like that. And that's why I really hate the fact that I gotta do this money thing. That's why I gotta get like a really big payday and go move to a farm, and so I can do all the magic stuff, go zombified on it. But I do have a solid enough understanding and groundedness now to know when I'm hearing the truth, right? Because I heard like 5 to 10 people say exactly what I thought, and I'm like, okay, I actually understand what's going on now. Like, it takes time to basically like absorb the data, then you're parsing the data. After you parse the data, then finally, this I thought I heard something. After you parse the data, then you finally get to the point where you're like, okay, what's real, what's not real, why would somebody say this, what's the reason why they're saying this, and you gotta trust your instincts, because that's all you got. What a nightmare, right? What a nightmare so far, right? Just figuring out what's going on. So, but yeah, we're all come down here for some kind of mission, which is AKA being in alignment. You're walking with God, you're walking in your destiny. That's what you're supposed to be doing, whatever that is. And that's what it is, right? So the more you're stuck on the material world, then basically a devil has you. Basically, that's what it is. So the more you're stuck on that, right? And I'm like, okay, because you're focused on those material things. There's nothing wrong with like just living, but the issue is that this thing is hijacking you. Apparently, it's literally hijacking you, right? Which is real. So all this stuff, like all the bullshit that's made up, because remember, all this shit is like made up. Drinking, doing drugs, for like no reason, of course, right? Like doing drugs for no reason, just banging broads for no reason. Um, just like the typical dumb shit. I mean, how many cars are you gonna buy? You know what I'm saying? How many like when you really stop and think about this, like how many cars are you really buying? Okay, you might buy one luxury car, but then even then, it's like, what is really luxury about this car? Nothing. If you actually understand what's going on. If you actually understand what's going on, there's nothing valuable about the car. There's nothing valuable about the boat or the plane. Those are probably the most expensive things you'll buy besides a piece of real estate. But if you're buying a real estate right, just build a farm on it, because they're like, what else are you gonna do with it? There's nothing else to do with the money. Get the money, go out there, go build a business, and make people pay for the service, right? So anyway, I'll finish off with this, okay? So I'm watching Jordan Maxwell, and he's talking about how the world runs and how things aren't really going the way they're supposed to go, and he's ready to retire, even though he passed away. So rest in peace for him, right? And he's just talking about, like, how he needs money sometimes to take care of himself because of all the money he spent. Like when you're trying to figure out what's really going on, you're not making money. And that's like the issue, because you could dedicate more time to survive and earn, versus basically like these people who are freeloaders, who are basically watching this stuff and getting everything for free. So I think one of his mentees or students ended up taking care of him, even though he's old. And it kind of reminded me of how I was just a couple years ago. All right. Or you look after people and they just don't have your back, and they don't really understand. They just don't appreciate what you're doing for them, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you do a lot for people, and they just don't appreciate the shit for some reason. So I was listening to the guy Micah Dank, and he's like saying, hey, before, I'm sorry, whoever Micah Dank was talking to, Jordan Maxwell left his estate to this guy, and that guy's uploading his videos right now, and it goes to his, I guess, kids or family or something. I don't really know if he had kids or not, but basically he just left it with them. And since he left it with them, he complained that basically people didn't really have his back and stuff like that. Just really annoyed. And he was just speaking, and they were joking about his shoes, and he was like, well, I need some of that money. He was like joking around, but he's serious, right? And it's the same thing with Santos and all the other guys. They basically need money, man, and they feel bad about making money, because they're trying to help people get their spiritual stuff in order. And you got to make people pay for this stuff. The reason I'm saying this is because if Jordan did charge the way he should have charged, then he'd be fine. Most people who are genuinely good people have a hard time charging people. And you have to understand that it's not about helping everybody. It's about helping the right people. And it doesn't matter how famous you are. It doesn't matter all this other stuff. You have to help the right people. If you're trying to really make a difference in the world, and you're trying to do something about what's going on, you need to be helping the right people. He was not helping. He was just helping everybody. I'm pretty sure there's some people out there that have grew from the work. It was Santos as well, whatever. But the point is that you have to be helping the right people. It's about helping the right people. It's not about helping everybody. And it's important for people to pay. And it's important for you to be able to ask for that money that you're getting. Okay. So like, let's say that it's just, you're like, okay, well, how much do you really need? Well, do you need $1 million? Probably not. You need a house paid off free and clear. You need a car. You need some other stuff. So you try to figure out what number is that, right? Let's just say that's 300,000. Divide that by 500. So that's 600 people. So I'm pretty sure Jordan Maxwell and Santos and all the other guys help more than 600 people. But you got to say, hey, look, it's this much money because I'm trying to buy the house. This is what I need in order for you to come in to do this. This is what I, whatever. And you gotta play the game, and that doesn't matter how much you just want to help people and all this other stuff. You still have to charge. You still have to be doing the behaviors, or else you're going to end up stuck. And I don't think Jordan had a happy ending because of that, right? He had a great life, but just he was very upset that people weren't really there for him when they should have been. And that's something I've learned over these years. Like, you got to have leverage. You have to Doesn't matter how much of a good person you are, and doesn't matter how much you want to see people succeed and stuff like that. The people just do not, they will not care about you. Like I listened to this dude say it like 4 or 5 times on stage. Hey, I'm just go buy something, and this, and we need some money and to do this. Everybody wants to go on stage and do these gay ass thank yous, and well, thank you, sir, thank you. You changed my life, and where's the money at? Nobody fucking cares about you. Where's the money, right? And they keep all, well, oh, look at you. I just hope that you have a good retirement, and it's everything but giving the money. You understand? That's what we're dealing with. You have to tell people what to do. You guys in here, you're all going to give me $500. Okay, I'll make it worth your while, but you're going to give me $500. He probably could have at least got like, let's see, $500 in that room. 500 times 50 people at a bare minimum. He could at least like walked out with 25 grand. That probably would like set him up for a while. You know what I mean? Even though if he's living with somebody, but think about that. He had to go live with somebody, and he feels broke and stuff. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, like come on, man. Like, take this money and chill, right? So I'm saying that because you got to be giving back, man, especially to your spiritual leaders, man. You got to be doing something to these guys. You got to do something for them, man. See, I thought I heard some noise. You have to be doing that. You got to be giving back to your spiritual leaders, man, because they could really, if the people who are giving you stuff for free, man, you got to do something. You have to do something, because the people, they're putting themselves on a line, making free content, trying to expose stuff, trying to figure out what's going on, and you're not really, you're not compensating them. Like, what the fuck are you doing, right? So yeah, he was famous, yeah, he was that, but he still had money issues. And if you're in the spiritual space at all, or you're in the enlightenment space, that's something that people really don't want to pay for. Okay, they don't want to pay to figure out that they're a slave and that they're dumb and that somebody's trying to kill them and all the other stuff. They ain't really trying to pay for that. Why? Because it's like, what? Like, what are you gonna do about it? You need to be paying for a solution. Hey, I'm going to tell you what's going on, and here's how to prep or something, right? So it's a little bit on Jordan, but at the same time, like, we got to do better. We have to do better. It's pathetic, right? And I'm not afraid to say that most people are pathetic, because how you going to look that man in the face and say thank you and don't give out any money? Don't matter what you say. What matters is what your actions. Okay. Anyway, that's the video. I'm probably going to go through some more of this, and then that's it. I mean, it's not really like too much more, but yeah, it's all sun worship. It's all astrology. We're all connected to source so far. There's some super demons living, I guess, beneath the subsurface. Literally, they're like lizards and other stuff apparently down there. Like, I knew that there were things down there, but I didn't know like to what level. I'm still figuring it out right now, but apparently it's all energy, right? So when you're connected to source and you know yourself, you're basically walking with God, right? It's the same thing, right? And when you're in alignment, you're walking with God, but otherwise the devil's got you for the most part. And you just got to stay on the ball. You got to be perfect, but you just do your best, right? And you just do the best you can. You do the best you can. You don't put yourself under like bad stress. You follow your contract, meaning be in alignment, which you do your work. You do whatever God assigned you to do. You just keep going, right? Just do your best and try to change before the devil gets you, because the devil, the people that have the devil on them, they need religion. They need it. They're like, they need it or else it's over for them, because they're bad people. They're bad. If you need religion, you're a bad person. If you don't really need it, you're just a regular spiritual person, you probably don't need it. But even though it's not bad for you, because the Bible is still like a great book. All those are great books. But if you need like, you're going to go to hell if you don't, it's like, well, then you really don't really want to be a good person, do you? You should just want to just be a kind, good person. But some people aren't like that. That's just what's going on. So they're hijacked or whatever. It's just a lot. There's a lot to this, and I'm learning more and more, and I'm figuring it out. So I'm going to keep figuring this out, and let's go back to making some more money. I'll probably talk about make a business video tomorrow, but that's it, or today. Right? I guess it's like 12:30. Okay, see you.